After the end of the Baroque era, when instruments were really being developed and becoming louder and using equal temperament, and as they were becoming more advanced, the recorder just didn't kind of keep up to the expectations that these composers and players were wanting from instruments. So it kind of fell by the wayside until it died out completely, until the early music revival at the beginning of the 20th century. So things are happening on the continent, but in this country, Arnold Dolmetsch is somebody who found these recorders and started creating recorders, and his son, Cole Dolmetsch, was the first kind of real English recorder virtuoso. And along with Franz Bruggen and David Monroe, they were really starting to inspire really high caliber of composers such as Bernstein and Benjamin Britten, and the recorder suddenly took off in a way that it hadn't since the Baroque period. Nowadays, less and less the kind of big name composers are really writing for us. It's quite a common thing for recorder players to turn composers. I mean, perhaps because they really know all of the extended techniques and the kind of hidden capabilities of the instrument. I think in part that's to do with the reputation that the recorder kind of built up in the 20th century as an instrument that should be used in schools. After the Second World War, they started creating plastic recorders, and the first plastic recorders were actually made out of Bakelite, which made these amazing recorders, and they were sitting in shop windows, and then the sun kind of came out and melted them, and there's these kind of amazing pictures of these melted plastic recorders. But that was really the very beginning of the recorder as a really educational tool. And since then, I think a lot of people had, not necessarily a positive experience of learning the recorder at school, but I do think that that's starting to change. More and more really high-level teachers are getting involved with teaching the recorder. And I think it's starting to catch the lower generation. So the younger people are eventually going to be getting older and older, and they're going to be hopefully the audience bracket that we can keep if they've had this really positive experience of the instrument at a young age. As a result, I think the reputation of the instrument is starting to become a lot more positive, and as such, I'm hoping a lot more composers are going to be attracted to write for it.